Well, part of the Family Division of the 8th Judicial District Court, the CASA program recruits, trains, and supports volunteers to represent the best interests of foster children in Clark County. Court-appointed special advocates, or CASAs, advocate on behalf of children, addressing their complete needs on top of finding safe, permanent homes. CASA volunteers represent children in school, at family team meetings, and in court. CASA volunteers are ordinary people doing extraordinary work. Mike Davis has more on the special program that's doing good in our community.
Okay, so I'm here with Joe Germain, a former LAPD officer. Joe, it's great to be with you. You know, you have such a unique perspective being a retired officer. Can you tell us about the distinction, the difference between a child who has a CASA advocate?
Sure. As a police officer, I saw kids in horrible situations and had to call services for the child to take them out of the situation. Refrigerators that were clogged with rotten food, horrible unsanitary conditions in the home. And I knew those kids went in the system. I didn't see a lot of what happened to them at that point. Here in Las Vegas, I've been a CASA for just about 3 years right now. And I've learned through the training I've received and through a case that I handled how necessary it is for the child to have somebody to advocate for them in the court. The parents have representation. Everybody has an attorney in the thing, but the child's interests are what's needed. Maybe they need dental care that nobody's looking into, or help with school, a special tutor for some assistance. And we have access to those types of things. The courts respect what the CASAs have to say on behalf of a child, and it helps the child tremendously through the process.
Okay, and tell us from, you have such an active role in volunteering and getting other people to volunteer. Why should the community volunteer with the CASA program?
We need them. There are thousands of kids in the system. We have a very limited number of CASAs, and kids can use them. We write court reports. We represent the child, not anybody else in the case. We're making sure that the child's interests are taken care of. Not necessarily their desires, but their needs. And we look out for them through the whole court process until they're either adopted, age out of the system, or in a guardianship situation.
Okay, last thing, tell us personally, what has this meant to you being a part of the CASA family and process?
It's great. I've done volunteer work for a lot of years in a lot of different situations, and this has been super in that I could see the difference it made for the young man that I was working with, who was 13 when I met him. He's 15 now. We still get together occasionally, even though I'm not his CASA any longer. He's in a guardianship in a safe situation, and I appreciate that. I see volunteers. I've had people who come, I do interviews for a lot of CASA volunteers, and I've interviewed housewives, cops, preachers and teachers, people from all walks of life, and people who are interested in taking care of helping a child in a situation like this. And it's really important to the child and to us as volunteers.
Well, thank you so much, Joe, for everything you're doing for the community. We appreciate it. And guys, I'll toss it back to you in the studio.
All right, Mike, thank you. For more information, visit casalasvegas.org or call the number on your screen, 702-455-4306. More, we'll be right back.